At my mom's funeral, my aunt asks me, "So have you met your real mom yet?" Confusion filled me as I stared at my mom's older sister. What? The blood drained from her face as she stared at me with wide eyes. "She never told you?" she asked. "Told me what?" I demanded. "Nothing," she said quickly. "It's not my place to tell you. Ask your dad." She turned and quickly strolled away to greet another family member. They put their heads together and began whispering while shooting me glances every once in a while. I didn't like the feeling of being left out of something big. I glanced at the front of the chapel where my mom's open casket sat. Dad was standing over it, tears rushing down his cheeks. I hated to interrupt him, but I had to know what she was talking about. I hurried over to him and gently laid a hand on his shoulder. "Dad," I said quietly, "I need to talk to you." "Can it wait?" he asked. "No. Aunt Margot told me something about my real mom." Dad paled even more than he already was, eyes glassy. He shot me a glare. "Your real mom is lying in this casket," he snapped. There was something really wrong. He wouldn't meet my eyes, and when I glanced around at the rest of the family, they all avoided eye contact and whispered among themselves. There was a big secret that I was being left out of, and I didn't like it. I strolled up to my uncle and asked him about my real mom, but he mumbled an excuse to leave and hurried away from me. When I asked my mom's parents, they told me to talk to my dad about it. Too bad I didn't have siblings to spill the tea. Every single family member I went up to either told me to talk to my dad or would find an excuse to run from me. Even the other unrelated guests wouldn't meet my eyes and acted like they were in on this huge secret. Finally, I couldn't stand it any longer, so I grabbed my dad's arm and led him out of the chapel until we reached the front sidewalk. "Tell me the truth," I ordered. Dad sighed. "Your mom is barely cold in the ground. Can't this wait? You think I want to be doing this at mom's funeral?" I screeched. "No! But I was told by my aunt that she isn't my real mom. How is that supposed to make me feel? Tell me the truth." My heart raced in my chest as anger filled me. I realized how fragile my dad looked in that moment, but I didn't care. I needed to know the truth. Dad finally released a breath. "Fine," he muttered. He led me to a nearby bench and sat me down. "Before your mom and I got married, I had an affair with another girl at a bar. I got drunk and stupid. She got pregnant and didn't want anything to do with the baby. So after discussing it with your mom, who I married, we agreed to take you in, and she treated you like her daughter from the moment you came home with us. As far as I'm concerned, she's your real mom." I was frozen in my seat, staring at nothing. My mom wasn't my birth mom, and she never told me while she was still alive. How was I supposed to feel about that? I agreed that she was my real mom, but I wanted to meet my birth mother too. "I want to meet her," I said. Dad sighed. "She's been reaching out to me for the past few years," he admitted. I was angry at him for keeping her a secret from me, but I also understood to an extent. We went back to the funeral, and I said goodbye to my mom, my real mom. But after the funeral was over, my dad gave me the number of my birth mom, and I gave her a call. She was very excited to talk to me, and we agreed to meet up the next week. I was very nervous as the meeting time got closer, and when I finally reached the coffee shop we had agreed on, I waited for 2 hours before coming to the realization that she wasn't going to show up. When I called her, it said the number was disconnected. She disappeared, and I was left feeling heartbroken over a woman I didn't even know.